Hey everyone, it's Stephanie. Welcome to my DIY holiday fun class. As you know, I love doing different DIY projects using essential oils, and a lot of you have been asking me if I would do a quick webinar with some recipes and some fun things that you can do to make gifts this holiday season using your essential oils. So, welcome to my class. Let's get started. I wanted to just tell you really quickly about the 5 topics that I'm going to be covering in this webinar. I am going to talk about scrubs, lotions, lip balms, soap or bath gifts, and party items. And these are all things that you can make right in your own home. I'll give you an ingredient list at the end. I can email it to you. And all of the recipes, or most of the recipes, came right from the doTERRA product blog, which is an amazing resource. I love going there for food recipes and health ideas, wellness ideas, and DIY tips. So, why doTERRA? A lot of people ask me, why do I use doTERRA essential oils? There are so many on the market, but I just want to stress that through my aromatherapy studies, I realized that not all essential oils are created equally. And one of the reasons I chose doTERRA is because of their co-impact sourcing, which means that doTERRA sources their oils from all over the world in the indigenous countries where the plants grow naturally. So when plants are grown and harvested in the proper altitude, with the right climate, in the right season and soil, you get a far superior plant, which means a far superior essential oil. And this is where doTERRA's commitment to purity starts. The second reason is that all of the doTERRA oils are CPTG, which just means they're certified pure therapeutic grade. It's something that doTERRA has created because in this essential oil industry, there's nobody policing the industry. There's no standard. So doTERRA created their own standard. That's the CPTG standard. And it really is important because we make sure we test every single batch of oil. No other company on the market does that. When you're putting stuff on your body, in the air around you, you want to make sure you have the best oils that have no fillers, no synthetics, no dyes or pesticides, no contaminants of any kind. They're just pure, unadulterated oils. So doTERRA created this as a promise of purity. And so each and every batch is third-party tested so that you can be confident in not just their purity, but in their potency as well. And now we're going to hop over and take a look at Dr. David Hill, who is one of the owners of doTERRA. He is an amazing man. He's a scientist. He really talks about the chemistry of the oil. So let's take a listen.
So when we talk about quality, it's not always about what testing you're doing. You have to look at the whole process and what that means collectively. And I believe that doTERRA does that better than anyone else.
doTERRA is the best company in the industry right now. I mean, they're the leaders. I mean, there's no one that's really coming close to doing what they're doing. I haven't seen anything like it in my 20 years of being in this industry, of a company going to the lengths that they go to secure the best oil in the world.
doTERRA's commitment to quality starts well before the plants are even distilled. Through our co-impact sourcing, the CPTG process starts then. And then it goes through a 3-tiered testing process that starts with outside labs and finishes off inside the company here, and then continues on after the bottles are sold.
We do several layers of testing, including GCMS, optical rotation, specific gravity, refractive index, chiral testing, carbon-14, probably more extensive than just about any lab out there.
I've been doing research with essential oils for about 15 years now. So I worked with a lot of oils and a lot of tests. And the one thing that I've noticed consistently is that unless you're starting with an oil that has a consistent quality, you're not going to get good results.
A lot of our oils are used in aromatherapy or topical use. We want to make sure that we do not only make a product that's effective, but it's also going to be safe. And that's why we do a thorough analysis to look at the composition to make sure that it is safe. But at the same time, we also go ahead and do skin irritation testing, which is also called as the RIP testing, or repeat insult patch testing, to make sure that when you apply it on topically, it's not irritating you to your skin.
To a wellness advocate, we always keep them in mind, and we talk about it in our training. And what matters is that the details matter. You know, quality is in the details. And so because we're so passionate and so detailed, we're sure not to miss those things that are going to make the difference between just an okay product and a great product.
We stand behind our quality processes because we have the most in-depth and knowledgeable staff. We have set the standard for what the quality process should be. The testing knowledge that is gained as well as passed on with each bottle is, you cannot measure.
One of the things that I've recognized about the quality of essential oils and the testing is that it's a dynamic environment. It's changing. And this is why it's so important that doTERRA leads the front, that doTERRA is developing and processing and coming up with new ways, new opportunities to prove out the quality of essential oils, and frankly, in a way that no other company is able to do. As we continue to grow, as we continue to expand throughout the world, I'm proud to say that doTERRA has made that commitment and will not waver or deviate from that.
I love that video. So right now I wanted to talk about 3 methods of use. So you can use doTERRA essential oils topically, which is just when you put them on your skin. When you put them on your skin, the compounds of essential oils are so small that they can pass through your skin into your bloodstream and into your cells. So when you're putting it on your skin, it's not just the aromatherapy that you're getting, but you're getting these therapeutic benefits because they're getting into your body. So one thing to think about when you're using oils with kids, I usually say under the age of 8, you always want to dilute the oils with fractionated coconut oil just to avoid skin sensitivity. Also with the elderly who have more sensitive skin as well. You can apply it to the back of your neck, along your spine, on your pulse points, and the bottoms of your feet. The skin on the bottom of your feet is a little bit thicker, so it reduces any chance of irritation. The second way you can use essential oil is aromatically, and I love to just put a drop in the palm of my hands, rub them together, cup my hands over my nose, and inhale. Just don't touch your eyes. I also like to diffuse it. I always have diffusers going in my house, in my office, my kids' rooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen. It helps, clean the air, helps support your respiratory system, and can really, for me especially, enhance your mood. And then the third way you can use oils, and I only recommend this with doTERRA, is internally. So don't assume that any brand of oil that you have, you can use internally, just doTERRA. Okay, let's get started. The first topic is scrubs. Yay! So I have this lovely, delicious candy cane sugar scrub that you can make. It's the perfect gift for Christmas, for the holidays. Everybody loves peppermint, and it's 3/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/2 cup fractionated coconut oil, 12 drops of peppermint essential oil, and then any kind of skin-safe food coloring. Usually you can find them on Amazon. I can give you a list where I get mine. So what you're going to do is you're going to combine the sugar and the coconut oil. And again, I use fractionated coconut oil because it stays liquid in all temperatures. So you're going to combine those two in a bowl, and then you're going to divide them equally. Once you mix them up together, you're going to divide them equally. And in one bowl, you're going to add red skin-safe food coloring because we want to make it look like a candy cane. Then you get your jar and you just layer in the red and the white scrub so you get this lovely candy cane effect. I think I forgot to tell you where to put the essential oils in. Oh my goodness. So you will add the essential oil in as you mix the two, the sugar and the coconut oil together. And it's just 12 drops of peppermint essential oil. You'll be able to see, help with respiratory issues, clear breathing, digestion. Peppermint also repels bugs, and not in the sugar scrub. Don't eat the sugar scrub, but you could also cook with peppermint. All right, next up, this one's a really beautiful one that I found called Coconut Salt Scrub. And it's kind of got a tropical feeling to it. So it's really great for the cold season that's coming up because it reminds you of the warmth of the, of the summer. So the coconut salt scrub is perfect. It helps with like exfoliating your skin. So it makes your skin a little bit softer and a little bit more shiny. And it calls for 15 drops of your favorite essential oils. So you're going to have 1 cup of organic virgin coconut oil, 1 cup of pink Himalayan or Epsom salt. I usually find Epsom salts are a little bit easier to find in the store, 1/4 cup of fractionated coconut oil, and then 15 drops of your favorite essential oil. So you're going to melt the coconut oil in the microwave or over a double boiler. Just make sure you do it at like 30-second intervals so that you don't burn it if you're doing it in the microwave. Once it's melted, you're going to add some fractionated coconut oil and the sea salt to the melted coconut oil, and you're going to stir it up until it's all combined. Then you're going to add your essential oils. So some of the, depending on what you want, if you want to have a relaxing coconut salt scrub, you can put in some lavender. I like to make it kind of a little more tropical, so sometimes I'll put in some lime or some lemongrass. And it smells really good with the coconut oil, or the coconut oil. So you're going to stir this. You're going to wait until the coconut oil solidifies. Every 10 minutes, you're going to stir it. So you can put this one to the side as you make the other things. I would start with this one, and then you can start making the other things, and then every 10 minutes, just set a timer, and you'll stir this up. And then when you want to use it, just rub it on your skin. It exfoliates your skin, and then just rinse it with some warm water. So if you want to speed up the cooling process, you can also put it in the fridge. Okay, the next one is yummy, 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 ginger lime scrub. This one is kind of like a tangy citrus combined with sweet, and people love it during the fall and the winter when your skin starts to get really dry. And I usually like to recommend using it 1 to 2 times each week on your hands, your feet, your legs, or your arms. So what you're going to need is 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup turbinado sugar, which is just a thicker crystalled sugar, 1/2 cup fractionated coconut oil, 10 drops of lime, and 5 drops of ginger. So yummy. So you're going to combine all the sugars, the fractionated coconut oil, and the essential oil. Just put it all in a bowl, mix it up. Make sure you're using glass bowls, not plastic bowls, glass or metal bowls. Remember, essential oils in plastic are not good. So you're going to mix it up in a bowl, and then you're going to store it in an airtight container. I like to use those little mason jars that you can they have the screw top, or you can have the really cute ones that have that little latch on them. And then just to use it, just apply a small amount to your hands and then scrub it for 30 seconds. You can put it on your hands or your feet, and then rinse with warm water and pat dry. So this one's a delicious one. Next up is the Festive Fall Scrub. This one is the last scrub I'm going to talk about before we go into lotions. And I love this one because it's great for exfoliating and supporting your skin. It's very gentle, and it has a little bit of a spicy aroma. So the recipe really produces a white sugar scrub, but you can add, some natural skin-safe food coloring. Like here, they added a little bit of yellow food coloring. Remember, don't use regular cooking food coloring because you're going to turn your skin whatever color the food coloring is. So you want to make sure you're using natural skin-safe food coloring. Again, I'll send that to you at the end. Okay, so your ingredients: 3/4 cup of white sugar, 1/2 cup fractionated coconut oil, 4 drops of cassia, 4 drops of clove, and 2 to 4 drops of ginger. Go easy on these oils because they're very strong, and they're considered, well, not the ginger, but the cassia and the clove are considered hot oils. So be very careful when you're handling them because they can really warm up your skin very quickly. If you get them on your skin, you can just use some fractionated coconut oil to get them off. If you want, you can make this as like a salt scrub. You would just swap out the sugar with the salt. But I like the sugar scrub because it goes perfectly with the cassia and the clove. All right, so combine all the sugar, the fractionated coconut oil in a bowl, add your essential oils, stir until it's kind of looks like a slushy. And then you may need to add some more sugar or coconut oil until you get that nice slushy texture. And then for separate colors, you can divide the scrub into bowls and then add the color before you can layer it, just like we did with the peppermint. You can layer this one too with different colors, or I just like to add one color and leave it, and then just put my little label on the jar. Okay, this is one of my favorite lotions to make and use. It's special for anybody who has like that rough, scaly, or sandpapery feet, and it's a whipped peppermint lotion. So you can really use it anywhere on your body, but just put a lot, you can slather this stuff on. It's so good for your feet, and then just put socks on before going to bed, and then you wake up with super soft feet and skin. Okay, 1 teaspoon of beeswax, 2 tablespoons of cocoa butter, 4 tablespoons of shea butter, 1 tablespoon of virgin coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of fractionated coconut oil, 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of melaleuca. So this is a very healing and cooling lotion. So in a small glass container, combine everything except the essential oils. With the beeswax, I like to use beeswax pellets just because they melt a little bit easier than chunks of beeswax. And again, I'll send you a little shopping list at the end. Okay, so mix everything except the essential oils together, and then put it in a saucepan with about 1.5 inches of boiling water. Then you're going to stir everything until it's all combined. So you're going to heat it up on low, and you're going to stir everything until it's combined. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Once everything is melted, remove it from the heat and let it rest for 3 minutes. So just set it to the side, set your timer, 3 minutes. Then once it cools down, you're going to add your essential oils, because if you add them when it's too hot, you're going to ruin the chemical compounds of the essential oils that have the healing benefits. So let it cool down for 3 minutes, add your essential oils, and then stir. Once the mixture comes to a solid, you can use an electric mixer to whip it up. So usually I like to put it into my mixing bowl before, as it's liquid, and then I let it kind of come to a solid. Then it's just ready. I can just start mixing it, start whipping it up. So you're going to start on low with the mixer and then gradually come to a high speed and then whip it for 3 to 4 minutes. And you're going to see it's going to get so light and fluffy. I love making this one with the kids because they love this part where it goes from this like solid to this like light and fluffy texture. Then you're going to place it into your jar or your container. And then just, again, when you want to use it, rub it on your heels, put on some socks, and it'll help soften and soothe your skin. And that's the peppermint foot lotion. Okay, this one's so good for gifts, teacher gifts, things for friends, things for, acquaintances, people you don't see very often, but you kind of want to give them a little something. These are great because they're safe for people to use. They're all natural, they're nourishing, they're soothing. And the way people will use this, you just rub the bar on your skin and let your body's natural heat melt the lotion. So, after you use it once, you're going to be like, how was I living without this? Okay, so again, 2/3 of a cup of beeswax. I like beeswax pellets, 1/2 cup of coconut oil, 1/2 cup of cocoa butter, 1 teaspoon of vitamin E oil, which you can just get a jar of the capsules, and you can just pop the capsules and use that. And then 15 drops of doTERRA essential oil of your choice. You can use something with a warm scent to it. You can use some citrusy scents. I wouldn't really recommend going with the citrus because you don't, unless it's Citrus Bliss, but you don't want to put any citrus oils on your skin because it makes your skin more photosensitive. So you could use Citrus Bliss, you could use peppermint, you can use lavender. On Guard is really delicious, but again, that has some wild orange in it, so just be careful. So those are, cedar wood is great, sandalwood is delicious. You can use lots of different ones. And then here you can also mix in like dried lavender or other dried herbs. This is really good if you do like a rosemary lavender, and you can mix in some dried rosemary. It gives the bar just a little bit of texture, and it's kind of pretty. It just makes like for a pretty package. Okay, so you're gonna take, just measure out all your ingredients. Make sure your ingredients are measured properly. And you're gonna mix everything, measure everything out, put it all except for the essential oils again in the saucepan with 1 to 1.5 inches of boiling water. Oh, I'm sorry, put it in a jar and then place the jar in the saucepan with, so you want to do it like a double boiler. I should have said that for the peppermint foot lotion too. Okay, so you're going to have it in a jar, place it in the jar goes into the water, the boiling water, and you're going to stir the ingredients together until they're combined. And then once they're melted, again, remove it from the heat, let it rest for 3 minutes, add your essential oils, and then stir. Then you're going to have a little silicone mold. It can be either a soap bar mold, or it can be something a little more fun with the little fun shapes that you can use. And then you're just going to let it harden for about 2 to 3 hours. And then you can just pop them out and wrap them in plastic wrap, or put them in a container, a little jar, until they're ready to use. And then again, just rub the lotion bar on your skin, and you'll get this really nice moisturizing effect. Okay, this one's really beautiful. This is a warm body butter. And if you like apple pie, you're gonna love this blend. So, and it's great for gifts again, but I like to keep some for myself. A lot of people suffer from cold hands and feet, and this lotion is really great when it comes to supporting that and kind of supporting your circulation and getting warmth to the skin. So the recipe is a 1/4 cup of shea butter, a 1/4 cup of coconut butter, a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, a 1/4 cup of sweet almond oil, which is really good for your skin, very nourishing, and then 8 drops of sandalwood, 8 drops of cassia, 5 drops of cypress, and 5 drops of juniper berry. So you're going to take the first 3, the shea butter, the cocoa butter, and the coconut oil, and add the almond oil, so the first 4 ingredients, in a double boiler. You're going to melt them all together, and then you're just going to let the mixture set. So you can place it in the fridge if you want to speed things up, which I always do, or you can just let it sit at room temperature to soften. And once you get it out of the fridge, you can place it, let it sit at room temperature to soften it up. Then you're going to add the essential oils, and you're going to whip it up again with the hand blender or KitchenAid stand mixer or whatever you have. And you're going to get this really beautiful warming body butter. And you can put it in your jars and give it away as gifts, or keep it for yourself for a nice little, warming hand massage as you're sitting with your cup of tea. Okay, next up, we're going to start with lip balms. So I love making lip balms. My kids love making lip balms. They're so easy to do. I was really nervous to make these when I first made them because I thought they were really, really hard, but they're actually really easy. All right, and these are really super moisturizing, good for your lips. Obviously, cheaper than when you're buying the commercial made lip balms that usually have a lot of chemicals in them. So these are great for gifts, gifts for your kids' friends, your family members. Everybody loves the DIY lip balms. All right, so you're going to need 1 ounce of beeswax pellets, 1 ounce of coconut oil, a 1/2 ounce of shea butter, a 1/2 ounce of cocoa butter, 20 drops of peppermint essential oil, 10 drops of lavender, and then some lip balm containers. And again, I'll send some links for different ideas for lip balm containers. So this recipe in particular makes 3 ounces of lip balm. So just make sure you have enough containers to keep all the lip balms. All right, so it's like about probably 20 lip balm tubes. And you can always reduce the batch size by cutting the recipe in half. All right, so you're gonna line up your empty containers. If you're using a lip balm stick, make sure it's been twisted all the way down. Then you're going to measure your butters and oils, and you're going to place them in a glass jar or a glass bowl. You're going to fill a large saucepan again with the 1 to 1.5 inches of water and bring it to a boil. Then once it's boiling, you're going to add the glass jar to the center of the saucepan as like a double boiler, and you're going to stir the mixture every few minutes until the ingredients are all melted and combined. Super easy. You can use like silicone gloves to, hold the glass as you stir it. And then once the wax is melted, you can remove it from the heat and again, let it sit for 3 minutes, set your timer, and then add your essential oils. I like to put in peppermint. I like to put in citrus bliss. I like to put in lemongrass. Sometimes I do a rosemary and lavender. You can do lots of different mixtures. So you're going to put in your essential oils. And then you are going to pour the mixture into the lip balm containers. So you might need like a little funnel, a little metal funnel, which again, I can put that in the list of ingredients. And then if you wanted to make it, you're just going to let them cool. And then if you wanted to make the lip balm tinted, you could add a pinch of like a colored mineral makeup before you, stir it in, before you pour it into the little lip balm containers. And then if you want a harder lip balm, you can add more beeswax. If you want a softer lip balm, you're going to add some more coconut oil. So you can just kind of experiment with it. But this recipe as is a really good recipe. Okay, rosemary spearmint soap. This is probably the most elegant DIY product that I'm sharing. So when you make these, they take some time. So you're going to want to share them with like super special people or just keep them for yourself. All right, you're going to need an olive oil melt and pour soap base. I like to get mine from Brambleberry. You're going to need a silicone mold, like a soap mold, 15 drops of spearmint and 15 drops of rosemary. You can also, again, put dried herbs into this one, into the soaps as well. Fresh herbs are not going to look good. They're going to turn brown in the soap after a few days, so you only want to use dried herbs. Okay, so you're going to cut off the amount of the soap base that you want and then place it into a microwave safe bowl. I like to chop the soap base up into smaller chunks so that it melts easier. And then you're going to just do it in increments of 30 seconds in the microwave. Then you're going to add a handful of dried herbs to the soap mold. Then you're going to add your spearmint and rosemary essential oils and mix them together. Then pour it into your molds. And you can let it sit for an hour and then remove the soap from the mold. And the soap should last for a good 2 to 3 months probably, because it is all natural. So you can package these up in some nice plastic bags with a little ribbon around the top, and these make great gifts. Okay, hand sanitizer. This one everybody asks me how to make because I make them for myself. I put them in my kids' lunch boxes. And they're easy to use. They're so easy to use and they're convenient, and they're, I have one in my purse, in my car, my office, so that they're always where I need them. All right, so you're going to need a 4-ounce spray bottle, 1 tablespoon of aloe vera gel, 20 drops of the doTERRA On Guard blend, and some water. So you can use distilled water or you can just use regular tap water. Just know that, you're going to want to use it up more quickly if you're using tap water. So in the spray bottle, you're going to combine the aloe vera and the On Guard. Then you're going to fill the rest of the bottle with water, but just fill it up to that shoulder part below the cap, because you're going to have to then fit the whole cap and spray section into the bottles, and it might overflow if you overfill it. So I usually like to fill it just to where the bottle starts curving. Then you're going to shake it together when you put the cap on, shake it, and then just spray it on your hands and rub them together. And it's a little moisturizing, and it's totally antibacterial. It's a great one. I love using the doTERRA hand sanitizer. All right, hand cleansing gel. This is a great one to replace that chemical-filled, hand sanitizers that are on the market. So this one is awesome. And again, you can put it in a pump, or I even have little essential oil friendly plastic dispensers that I use. And I can again link to those. All right, so you're going to need 5 tablespoons of aloe vera gel, 4 tablespoons of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of vitamin E, and then, which again, you can use the little vitamin E capsules and pop them and put them in. And then 8 to 10 drops of On Guard. And then you're going to need like a little small squeeze container. Okay, so combine the aloe vera gel and the vitamin E in a bowl. Then add your On Guard. Then add water and mix it really well to combine it. You can add more water or less water depending on the consistency that you want. Then you'll pour it into your containers. And again, you may want to use like a little glass. I usually use like a glass measuring cup that has a spout so I can pour it into the containers a little more neatly, or you can use funnels. Don't really work unless your gel is a little bit watery. But if you use just a glass measuring cup, you'll be fine. Then place your homemade hand cleanser in your bag, your office, in your kids' lunches, and you know it's super easy to use, chemical free, and delicious. Okay, well, don't eat it. Epsom bath salts. So bath salts are like one of the easiest things to make, and so I'm just going to show you how to make this one, and you can make it with any kinds of dried herbs or other, mix in other kinds of essential oils. So this one, it's super easy. 1 cup of Epsom salt and 10 drops of your favorite essential oil. You're just going to add the essential oil to the Epsom salt and stir it together. And you would add about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of that mixture into your bath and enjoy it. So I like to have, Michaels sells these little glass ball ornaments that you can fill up with the bath salt. So that's one of the things I like to do at my little make and take parties because it's really beautiful. It looks like snow inside of the bath, the glass ornament. It's really pretty. Okay, speaking of baths, let's talk about bubble bath. So this is great for, people of all ages. And it also helps disperse the oils into your bath properly. So you're going to start with a cup of unscented Castile soap, a 1/2 cup of vegetable glycerin, 2 tablespoons of water, and 15 drops of your favorite essential oil. So you could use lavender here, you could use serenity, you could use citrus bliss or peppermint to help wake you up. So the possibilities, again, are endless. So you can usually get Castile soap and vegetable glycerin at like your local health food store if you're worried about it. You're going to combine the Castile soap, the glycerin, and the water together in a glass bowl. You're going to add your essential oils and you're going to stir it really well until it's combined. And then you can pour this into a glass container, like any kind of a bath, bubble bath pump container. Make sure it's glass. And then you're going to use about a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup in your bubble bath and just put it under the warm running water. And you're not going to the bubbles aren't going to last very long because, a lot of the bubble baths that have the long-lasting soap have synthetic ingredients that make that happen. But this one will provide enough bubbles for a relaxing bath, a therapeutic bath, and you're still going to really love it. Okay. Holiday room sprays. We love making these. They set the mood for if you're having a party. And this one in particular smells incredible. There's like a top note of grapefruit that mixes with just a little bit of frankincense, and then the Douglas fir lends it kind of this warmth. And then when it's in the air for a little while, the grapefruit kind of fades. And then you can really smell like a heartier note of like apple and pine, and it's very spicy and earthy from the frankincense. So it puts you in a really, really good mood. It's like magic for the air. Okay, so you're going to grab your frankincense, Douglas fir, and grapefruit essential oil, and then in a glass spray bottle, you're going to add some water. You're going to add the 15 drops of the frankincense, 15 drops of grapefruit oil, 30 drops of Douglas fir oil, and then you're going to shake the bottle, and then you can spray it. And of course, you can always put on some holiday music and sing along. So depending on the size of your spray bottle, you may want to use more or less of the essential oils. Just make sure you keep the ratios So the Douglas fir oil is twice that of the frankincense and grapefruit oil. Okay, so that it's equal parts Douglas fir to frankincense plus grapefruit. All right, next up. Citrus air freshener. This is similar to what we just did. And it's, again, something that I like to spray in the middle of the afternoon when I'm starting to feel, a little tired. And it's a great way to reduce the amount of chemicals in your house with all those other chemical air fresheners and plugins and all that other stuff that's not good for you. This one only has 2 ingredients, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. You can spray it on your chair at work. You can just spray it in the air in front of you, spray it on your pillow. So you're going to get an 8-ounce glass spray bottle, and you're going to combine water and the essential oil. So I like to put the essential oils in the glass spray bottle first. So for example, this one I would put in 20 drops of wild orange. But again, you can mix different oils together. And then you're going to add water up to the shoulder. And then shake it well before every time you use it. So again, you can use this, shake it, use it on your furniture, in your carpet, in your car, in your bathroom, anywhere you need some freshening. So this is a fun one. My kids like these too, because you can make flavored toothpicks, and which are good for like freshening your breath and cleaning your teeth. Cinnamon is really, really good for cleaning, helping support your gum health. So you're going to need toothpicks, you're going to need a glass jar with a lid, some fractionated coconut oil, and then 10 to 20 drops of cinnamon bark essential oil. And then you're going to need like a special airtight tin to hold the toothpicks. All right, so you're going to take your glass jar, fill the bottom with the coconut oil, which is about a 1/4 inch of coconut oil. For the mild cinnamon flavor, you're going to want to add 10 drops. And then you can add more if you want a stronger flavor. But start small, start with just the 10 drops, and then you can always add more later. Place the toothpicks in the jar, let them sit for about 8 hours, and then the wood of the toothpicks will absorb the oil and the essential oils. And then you're going to lay them out and let them dry for about 24 hours. So I usually like to put them on like some paper towels or out on plates or something. Just again, no plastic. And then you're going to place the flavored toothpicks in the small tin or a glass jar so that you can use them when you need it. And again, you can use lots of different flavors like peppermint or slim and sassy. You could use On Guard. You can use wild orange. My kids like to do different blends like peppermint and grapefruit or cinnamon bark and peppermint. So you can just play with this one. This one's really fun. Okay, salt dough ornaments. So these are great because they're a little bit more meaningful. You can use, you can stamp on them with different images. You can paint them or you can leave them plain. And it's just like to me, this is like a beautiful little homemade gift. So you're going to need 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, 1.5 cups of warm water, a drinking straw or a toothpick, cookie cutters and string, and then your favorite doTERRA essential oils. And then you can optional use, get some stamps and paint. So preheat your oven to 325. Pour the flour, salt, and warm water into a large bowl. And then using your hands, you're going to knead it until all the ingredients are well incorporated and the dough is very smooth. If the mixture is dry, you can add more water until the dough really comes together. Then you're going to roll out the dough on a floured surface until it's about 1/4 inch thick. Then use your cookie cutters to cut out the desired shapes. Put them on a cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper. And you can use a drinking straw or a toothpick to make a hole in the top so that you can thread the string or the ribbon through afterwards. Place them in the oven until they harden, which is about an hour. But just double check them, set your timer for 40 minutes and check them and just make sure that they don't overcook. You just want to check them. Okay, so then once they're hardened, you remove it from the oven and you can let them cool. And then once they're cool, like I like to put them on a wire cookie cooler. Then you can decorate them with paint and string or glitter. And then for aromatherapy, you're going to add the essential oils to the side that's not painted. You're just going to place a drop on each ornament and just allow it to soak in. So just make sure when you're baking the ornament that the dough, it'll turn slightly brown and it might puff up. But you can also air dry it. I air dry the ornaments for about 2 to 3 days, and that'll help keep them white and flat. So the shopping list, I'm going to send you a shopping list. Again, we use fractionated coconut oil, frankincense, peppermint, Douglas fir, grapefruit, melaleuca, ginger, lavender, and lime. I think I also talked about lemongrass in here, some rosemary. And then the household products are like sugar, white sugar, brown sugar, skin-safe food coloring, distilled water, flour, salt, straws, cookie cutter. I'll make a whole list for you, and you can just email me to get that list, and I'll be happy to send it out to you. So now what? I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. I hope you have a lot of fun making your DIY stuff, and that you got lots of good ideas and gift ideas. And I just want you to know I'm so grateful for you and thankful for you. And I wanted to wish you a very happy holiday.